Hey friends, how are you today? I hope everyone's good. I'm going to wait a minute here and see if anybody is able to hop on. I had to change the time to 6 because I realized on Tuesdays I've got the interviews on our St. Isaac Jogues page. So I'm going to do this week at 6 o'clock and see if that works out okay for everybody. It's been a nice day today. I got a chance to do some relaxing and also went for a couple of walks. So I just had a nice day. Hope you're all having a beautiful day too. It's very sunny here right now, so it's nice. I'm going to get started. We are on day 8, A Sense of Clarity by Stephanie Coons. And day 8 is Listening Attentively. What does it mean to be a good listener? Week 1, I found to be about self. And so it's kind of nice in week 2 now we're starting off about other. Active listening requires the listener to fully concentrate, understand what is being said, and then respond. To be fully present to the other person, and that the other person will feel heard. And this strengthens our relationships, doesn't it? Just think back, when you're trying to talk to someone and if they're fully listening, how good that feels, right? Some tools that Stephanie gives us is, the first one is to pay attention. Give your undivided attention to the other person. Don't start thinking of a response. And certainly don't use your phone while someone's talking to you, right? 2, use facial expressions and show that you are listening. A lot of times, nodding, things like that, it helps people to see that you're, responding and reflecting back with them, that you're listening to them. Number 3, give positive feedback, such as, what I hear you saying is, and sometimes you might have to say to the other person, can you clarify what you're trying to say? Because you want to make sure that you're understanding the other person and what they're saying fully. Also, what I find helpful too is to repeat what the other person has said back to them so that they can see that you've heard them. Number 4, try not to interrupt. I know I have trouble with this sometimes. She says, try not to interrupt the other person who is talking, postpone judgment, and or counter argument. I need to work on that myself because I find myself, and I have to catch myself a lot of times when someone's talking to me, especially when they're talking to me about things that are painful and things like that, and they're just sharing with me. I'm already thinking kind of ahead, how do I respond to this person? How do I respond in love and things like that? And I have to be more careful about that myself. So I'm sure you guys understand what that means. 5, be open and honest. Be open and honest with your responses. Be respectful with opinions and validate the other person's feelings. I find this a lot of times. I see people get into heated arguments about, the politics of the day or whatever. But sometimes just validate, you might not agree with the other person is saying, but just acknowledge and validate what they're saying. Kind of, they might be getting all, emotional and stuff like that. And you can tell them, I'm feeling emotional about what you're saying, and then just validate. I understand, that this subject makes you angry or whatever, a lot of times just when someone hears that validation and reflecting, that you understand this emotion, it kind of calms the conversation down. So this seems like a lot of steps, but actually if you just start being very mindful about it and practicing it, it becomes a skill that becomes more easier as you go along. Okay, so try to do that sometime tonight with a spouse or something. Try to be very active and attentive to what they're saying, and hold back a response. It may take you a minute and there might be a pause in the conversation, but actually, some people feel like a pause in a conversation can be an awkward moment, but really, it can be a very valuable moment because the other person gets the feeling that you are truly listening and then thinking about what they said. So, silence like that can be very valuable. So we're going to go on to the journaling questions. So grab your journals. So in your journals, I want you to write down, how does it feel when someone listens to what you are saying? Do you consider yourself a good listener? Why or why not? Choose one of the 5 tips for active listening and practice in a conversation today. Come back and reflect on your interaction. What difference did you notice when using active listening skills? So those are your journaling questions, and I'm just going to go over the 5 tools. 1, pay attention. 2, use facial expressions. 3, give positive feedback. 4, try not to interrupt. And 5, be open and honest with your responses. So that's your task for today. The rest of the day until, I consider it, the next 24 hours. We'll be back again tomorrow at 6 and see how you did with this and your journaling. I don't know why I'm tripping over my tongue tonight. I guess it happens to me a lot. So anyway, I hope you guys have a beautiful evening. I hope you're enjoying this. And like I said before, if you're just checking this out today, go back to day 1 and take your time. You don't have to catch up or anything. And just follow through for the 28 days for a happier you. God bless everybody and talk to you tomorrow. Bye.